Oh, now, this is a story all about how local soccer media got flipped, turned upside down. And we like to take a minute, so grab a beer so cold, and we'll tell you how we became electric gold. In White House, Tennessee, born and raised on the soccer fields was where we spent most of our days. Reading Mad Magazine and riding our bikes with a known propensity for rocking the mic. Now we're a trio of guys who are getting kinda old, cheering on the boys and gold with every bit of our soul. Screaming our heads off while drinking some beers, hoping to give Cincy and Miami something to fear. Now Evan, John and Ryan are kicking the facts about Nashville SC, and they'll never come whack. If anything, we can say the show is rare. Acoustic blue and electric gold, the only colors we wear. We pull up the Goaties about 7:38, and we yell to the refs, yo home, smell you later. We look at the castle, we feeling so bold. We sit on our thrones, we're electric gold.
I believe that Nashville SC has been doing some laundry because we got some clean sheets this week. How are y'all feeling this evening? Or this
Fantastic.
afternoon?
So good. So
Top
good.
of the world, baby.
Love clean sheets.
Wonderful. Yeah, it was a great week for the team, and we're going to get into all of that and talk about some soccer and just this beautiful run that the team has been on. But before we get into that, guys, I got to know, I'm dying to know what you're drinking today. So, John, why don't you enlighten us?
Yeah, I am drinking a Dunkel by the Von Trapp Brewing Company. And in case you're thinking, well, that's a familiar name. Well, you should be, because the Von Trapp family are the subject of the Broadway musical and hit movie The Sound of Music. And they are a real family in real life, and their descendants own a brewery, and they make hella good beer. If you remember, that family fled Austria from the Nazis. They toured Europe for a while. They had 7 kids at the time. And so as a singing family, they toured Europe, and then eventually they came to the United States. And eventually they settled in Stowe, Vermont. And they had 7 kids that were the commanders from the previous marriage. And then they had 3 more kids when they came to America. That's too many damn kids.
Wow.
Yeah. So the youngest of the kids was a boy named Johann. He was born in 1939. And Johann Von Trapp is the one that created this brewery. He loved his beer like every good Austrian and German should. And he's still alive today. He's actually 86 years old. I don't know if he still runs the brewery or not. But at any rate, he makes hella good beer. They make all kinds of traditional German beers. This one, being a Dunkel, this is a Munich-style dark lager, brewed and fermented with traditional Bavarian ingredients and techniques. It's got these really smooth malt notes of caramel and chocolate, very smooth mouthfeel. Basically, if you like a Guinness, you're going to love a Von Trapp Dunkel, and it's a hella good beer.
Sounds delicious. I had no idea that the Von Trapps were such enterprising brewers.
Yeah. Yeah, they're still around. They're still doing it.
That's awesome. Evan, what are you having today?
Well, first, don't you think we should start our own brewery and call it Hella Good Beer? that would be amazing, right?
I think we were born to do this.
Yeah.
Are we that enterprising or not?
Like a lot of work to me.
Probably
no,
not.
that sounds like too much work. Okay. So, all right, boys. Well, today I'm enjoying a big wave from the Kona Brewing Company out of Hawaii. And this particular beer is inspired by island life. It's an easy drinking golden ale. It's fairly well suited for a hot and humid Tennessee afternoon, as I am discovering. It has a subtle fruitiness and lightly roasted honey malt. It tastes to me like it will pair nicely with seafood, and I was already planning on making a salmon pesto pasta this evening, so I might just keep on enjoying some big waves for the rest of the day.
Dang, I might just be coming to Evan's house.
Just
Come
gonna
on
say,
over, bud.
I hope there's enough seats at the table for us as well. That sounds great. Well, guys, this afternoon I am stretching the rules a little bit because I'm not actually having beer. I'm having a cider. This is Blake.
Hey, that'll count.
It'll count. You're okay with this? I'm
that'll
still
work.
allowed in the club.
I love a cider.
This is from Blake's Hard Cider, which is up in Michigan, and this is the American Apple. You may be well aware of the fact that apples are one of Michigan's biggest crops, along with the cherry. And this cider comes from Blake's Hard Cider Company. A couple back in the 1940s, Gerald and Lovey, Blake, they moved their family of 13 kids. You thought the
they've got the Von Trapps beat.
They did. They got the Von Trapps way beat. They moved them out of the suburbs into a 100-acre plot of land in Armada, Michigan. And it was just a 3-bedroom farmhouse. So I don't know if some of those kids slept in a barn or what. But anyway, many years later, one of the sons, Andrew Blake, he had grown up working on the farm. He decided to explore hard cider and began creating it in 2013. Or that's when they started the cider. Is it a brewery when you're making cider? I guess it is, right? You're brewing it.
Let's call it that.
It's craft cider.
Works for me.
Anyway, they started the Blake's Hard Cider Company in 2013. They're now distributing it in over 35 states. So it is a family-built American company. Tastes like freedom. It's delicious. It's perfect for, like, as you say, a hot summer day in the South. It has been incredibly, brutally hot. So this is a refreshing reprieve from that. And I'm glad to be drinking it here with you guys. Cheers to you.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, boys.
Oh, wow. That is good. Okay. Let's get started with the week in review. A midweek showdown between two Eastern Conference contenders took place at Geodis Park this past Wednesday evening as Nashville SC hosted the Columbus Crew. The two teams entered the contest tied for third place in the East with 41 points each. Coming off a tough loss to Miami the previous weekend, Coach Callaghan opted to return Captain Walker Zimmerman to the starting lineup, while Johnny Perez was also back as starter following his one-game suspension for the red card he picked up against Miami. It did not take long for Nashville to strike. Nashville quickly moved the ball from one side of the field to the other, starting with a Joe Willis clearance, moving through crossfield passes on the run from Hani Mukhtar and Eddie Tagseth, and ending with an off-balance shot from Alex Muil that was deflected by a Columbus defender past their keeper for an own goal. That was at the 1 minute and 2 second mark, and more was to come. Nashville opted for a more balanced approach throughout the first half, largely content to play defense and trying to flip the field once they obtained possession. And in the 31st minute, that's exactly what happened with the triple all-star connection. In a season of incredible passes by Andy Najar, perhaps none has been as incredible as the pass he served up to Sam Surridge in this moment. From around the 18-yard mark on the right side, Najar lofted a pass that traveled all the way to the attacking half on the left side of the field, where a hard-charging Sam Surridge picked up the ball in stride. And then Surridge served a perfect cross in front of the goal, where Hani Mukhtar arrived just in time to strike the ball into the goal with one touch. That put NSC up 2-0, a lead that they carried into halftime. And after the break, Nashville was more aggressive in holding possession and limited Columbus's chances. In the 82nd minute, Nashville put any hopes of a comeback to rest when once again Najar set the table perfectly, this time sending a through ball on the right side to Ahmed Qasim, who easily beat his defender to capture the pass and sail a perfect cross to Sam Surridge in front of the goal. A gentle tap in by Surridge gave Nashville the 3-goal lead, along with putting Surridge back in the lead for the Golden Boot, and Nashville exited the game with a major statement to the entire MLS about their quality as a real contender for hardware this season. Following up that victory, Nashville then hosted a visiting Toronto FC on Saturday. Toronto has languished near the bottom of the Eastern Conference this season, but they can still be a feisty opponent. In their most recent game before this one, Toronto managed to pull off a major 1-0 upset of Western Conference leading San Diego on the road, proving that they would not be an easy pushover for Nashville. For the starting lineup, Walker Zimmerman retained his starting spot, this time alongside Jason Palacios, who started in place of Jack Mayer. And once again, that league terror Johnny Perez was out due to yellow card accumulation, so Ahmed Qasim got the nod for the 12th time this season. The match was fairly even throughout the first half, but Nashville managed to break through in the 28th minute. After Gaston Brugman laid a physical challenge on Toronto to win the ball, Hani Mukhtar came up with possession and drove right into the middle of the box. His shot was on target but deflected by a diving Sean Johnson, who had a terrific game. And the deflection just happened to bounce right to Sam Surridge, who took advantage of the empty goal to put home his 18th goal of the season, once again tying him for the Golden Boot lead with Lionel Messi. Nashville took their 1-0 lead into half, and it largely seemed as though Toronto would not be able to overcome that deficit as they struggled to put together any significant scoring opportunities. But as the second half wore on, Toronto appeared more comfortable in possession and spent a lot of time in the Nashville side of the field, but no real threats came about. Jason Palacios in particular provided an incredible performance in the left center back position, consistently shutting down a variety of Toronto chances. The boys in gold had a couple of great opportunities to extend their lead as well, but they also came up just short. In the end, Toronto managed only one shot on target, and Nashville came away from the game with another win. For the week, Nashville managed 2 more wins, 6 more points, and moved up to second place in the Eastern Conference standings behind only Cincinnati. And the team has certainly made Geodis Park an impenetrable castle. They've lost only once at home this season, way back on March 29th, versus, you guessed it, Cincinnati. But the team taking the pitch these days is a much different one than we saw early in the season. Okay, guys, 2 great wins at home, extending our unbeaten streak at home to 11 matches. And as I mentioned, we've only lost once at home all season long. So things have been looking good, especially when we're in the friendly confines of Geodis Park. And I would love to hear what you guys learned this week. Evan, we'll start with you.
All right. Well, the first thing that I learned is that it is darn near impossible to predict the weather around here in July. So as I was driving to the stadium last night, I checked 4 different weather apps to try to see what they were all saying, to try to time it out so that, we'd miss any showers. They all said different things, but I felt like we're going to be okay. Get out of the car. It's mostly blue sky. By the time I get to the stadium, I'm soaking wet. So anyway, that's the first thing I learned. Second thing I learned is that this team is bound and determined to win soccer matches. And of course, the Columbus match, that was just perfect execution. That was perfect soccer. Fantastic. Last night, a little bit of a struggle. I'm not sure if it was just fatigue from the recent slate of games or if it was the inclement weather delay, but they came out sluggish. They came out looking a little bit more like Nashville 1.0, but they pushed through. They found a way to get that first goal that seemed to bring them back alive, and they finished out the game. And, they just found a way to get all 3 points. And that is what I am just continuing to be so impressed with and continue to learn about this team, is that they refuse to lose and they are bound and determined to win.
Love it. And John, you had a special guest for the Columbus game, did you not?
I did. I brought my dad to the game. He went to a game at Geodis the first season, and then he went to one back when we played at Nissan. And so, he was all on board. He loves this team. He's been watching, from home, which is like, he did not grow up with soccer. Like me playing was as much soccer as he ever saw, but he's fallen in love with this team just like we all have. So it was awesome to get to watch it with him.
Yeah, it was great to have him with us in the supporter section, cheering the team on. And it's really shocked that no one mistaken him for Joe Willis.
Yes.
But thought maybe Joe was up there in the stands instead of on the field. What things did you learn this week?
Yeah, I just learned that we are nigh invulnerable at home. Like, we are a juggernaut. I mean, we just keep rolling. It doesn't matter how we have to play, whether we get to play the beautiful soccer that we want to, or like as Evan said, if we're struggling, we'll still find a way to win. We'll still find a way to score. And yeah, it's a total team effort too, because obviously, our stars, Walker and not obviously Walker, but like Sam and Hani have gotten all the headlines this year, and rightfully so. But dang, our defense and our midfield had a hell of a week themselves, and stars all over the pitch. Dang, we are so good. And Superman came out this week. New Superman movie. We're like the Superman of MLS when we're playing Geodis, except Superman has a weakness. It's kryptonite. I don't know that we have a kryptonite.
Right.
I think we might be better than Superman.
Wow. Well, I certainly didn't see any weaknesses this past week. We looked so solid. And I'll tell you what really struck me. It was interesting. Over the past month and a half or so, I think we've really seen Coach Callaghan focus the team on playing a possession game. We've actually seen this team play and win playing a variety of different styles. But the past month and a half or 2 months, it really has seemed like he's focused in on them playing a possession style, hold possession, win the possession game, poke and prod at the opponent until we find a seam and then we can attack. But these past 2 games, I really saw something different. It seemed like we really were more content to sit back, play more defense, let the other team control possession, and we just would respond to their style. And we held up really, really well. I was so impressed with our defense. I just thought we played that style really well, and we still won, even playing a much different approach than what we had been for the past couple of months.
And now he probably was like, I wonder if this team's even good enough to play Gary Ball and still win. And the answer was yes. Gary Ball was not always bad. Sometimes it works, man. Take that with the improvement of finishing and play when you actually do have the ball, and you got a hell of a soccer team.
That's the thing, is the combination of a really strong defense, which we've had for years, and now with this revamped offense that is just scoring at an impressive rate, an incredible rate. Those two things mixed together, we are like a Superman with very little weaknesses to be found. It's been so much fun to watch.
Yeah. Let's mention this right here. There was a stat that Wes Bowling posted this week, and I didn't realize it until he posted it. But after the Toronto game, that's now 8 times that we've played a team twice this season. We've won all 8 of them.
Oh, wow.
Tell me that isn't BJ Callaghan.
Absolutely.
Like, when you get a chance to study a team and then you decide what their weakness is and attack them from there, that's awesome.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's such a testament to Callahan's prowess. It's just amazing. All right, guys. Well, there's been a ton of great highlights to reflect on this week, but I'd love to hear what was your favorite from the week. This is Oh, Hell Yeah. And Evan, we're going to start with you.
Oh, man. Guys, the tenacity that this team shows, whether it's Hani driving the ball forward, despite maybe some other guys not always running with him, like last night when there were some tired legs and whatnot, whether it's Eddie bouncing all over, winning tackles, getting under the skin of the opponents, whether it's Alex Moyle running nearly 8 miles last night in that humidity and being effective on both sides of the ball, but especially Sam Surridge getting it done all over the pitch. He did great last night to get himself in the right position for that rebound goal. But I don't know if you guys remember, but towards the end of the game, Toronto was really pushing for that tying goal. Sam made an excellent defensive tackle way back on the right side of the pitch, almost back about where you would see the wingback or even the right fullback Najar playing defense. But Sam was back there in, I don't know, maybe it's like the 85th minute, say. I can't remember exactly, but he's still running all over, doing what it takes to get the job done. And watching him play lately, I'm starting to get the feel like Hani was giving in 21 when he should have won MVP. Like he's finding some new gear, some new inspiration. Like I was watching him last night thinking, man, this feels a little bit like Hani in 21. Because of that, I'm just getting super excited for Sam. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, Super Sam.
Yeah, it's not just the scoring either. Sam has been incredible as a facilitator, providing assists, setting things up, and playing incredible defense too, just as like what you mentioned. Yeah. Sam's been terrific. John, do you have an all hell yeah for us?
I sure as fuck do. Najar to Sam to Hani.
Yeah.
You described it in the week in review, and my God, that was as good as soccer gets. Najar, like from the moment he hit that ball, I was already... I'm not in a seat. I'm in the supporters section, but I was jumping. I was like, holy shit, that's a ball. And then Sam doing like what you've been saying, more than a score. He brings the ball out on the wing. He only takes about 2 more touches and then delivers a perfect ball for Hani to tap in. 100 yards down the field in about 2 seconds and about 2 touches. You cannot get better than that. Oh, hell yeah. Our all-stars are delivering. That was hard to say. Yeah, geez, those three, what a connection they've got from only getting Najar in this offseason. Man, he has fit right in like a glove with these guys.
Yeah, Najar has dropped some absolute dimes this season. We've seen some incredible assists from him, but this one, I think it's probably the best one we've seen all season, and that is saying a lot.
That's really saying something. It is.
He has just done some incredible stuff, but that goal was so insane because it started, he was about in line with the top of the penalty box in the back on the right side. He sailed that pass all the way from there, all the way to the other side of the field on the left side, close to the top of the penalty box over there. So, I mean, just like you said.
It was like corner of the box, yeah.
And so Sam picked it up in stride. It was a perfect placement and was able to cross it over to Hani. That pass was insanity. I was just so impressed with it. Najar has just been unbelievable. He's a magician. I can't believe that this guy was sitting around not playing in the MLS. I can't believe that teams weren't clamoring to get him in the offseason and he fell in our laps. I mean, how lucky are we? It's just been amazing. All right, guys. Well, I know it might be tough to try and pick out something that you didn't like about this past week, but we're going to try it. So this is Oh Hell No. John, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I can only come up with one. Cincinnati scoring in the 87th minute against Real Salt Lake last night. Oh, man, I was really, really wanting us to be first place in MLS last night, and we were for, about 5 minutes. But I'm sitting there watching my phone, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, hell no. Come on. And what was even stupider, guess who had the assist on the goal that Cincinnati scored?
Was it Brian Anunga?
It was Brian Anunga.
Oh no.
My gosh.
The revenge of Anunga.
Brian Anunga played for 5 seasons for Nashville SC. Can y'all name the number of assists he got?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say 0.
You would be correct. 0 assists in 5 seasons as a midfielder.
Oh, gosh.
He had 1 goal and 0 assists.
Oh, my gosh.
That was his second assist of his MLS career. Both of them have been this season with Cincinnati. So I was like, oh, hell no. Why do y'all have to score a goal? Why can't we just be first for one night? Come on.
Yeah, no kidding.
But, we're going to get there.
Oh, yeah, we are. And, of course, Brian Anunga continuing his streak of holding Nashville back, whether he's playing for the team or against us. Didn't matter.
Oh, no.
Evan, do you have an oh hell no for us?
Yeah. I came up with one. This isn't about the team because, my God, the team is just off the charts right now. But mine goes to the 9:30 p.m. kickoff time for Friday night's match in San Diego. Boys, I am usually in bed by then.
Right.
So I don't know. Come Friday, I may have to drink a second pot of coffee. And, there's worse things than that. But all hell no anyway.
Yeah, that's a late one for us old guys, and I certainly get that. Hopefully the team will not be asleep even if we are. Hopefully they will still be able to perform. All right, well, guys, as you well know, we are at 42 goals now for the season. This is incredible. We've got 10 games left. So well on our way to hitting that 50 goal mark that BJ Callaghan wanted the team to achieve. It looks like it's well within sight. And of course, as part of that journey, anytime we're scoring a goal in MLS play, we are sharing a favorite thing of ours on the podcast here. We've got 4 goals to celebrate tonight. So we have to share 4 favorite things. We'll go around. I'm going to be starting this evening. You guys may have recalled from a week or 2 ago when I shared that one of my favorite things was Memphis in May. Well, I want to take you back to Bluff City to share another one of my favorite things from Memphis. And in this case, it might be probably the greatest export that Memphis has ever generated. The best thing to ever come out of Memphis. And that is St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital.
Yes.
Now, this was a hospital that's founded by Danny Thomas in 1962. It's named after St. Jude, which was one of the 12 apostles of Jesus. He's often called the patron saint of lost causes or desperate situations. And the story goes that Danny Thomas in the 40s, he was a struggling entertainer. He was struggling to get his career on track. He had not become a big star yet. And so he said a prayer to St. Jude, and his prayer was simple. He was like, help me find a way in my life. Help me find some success for my career, and I will build you a shrine. And soon after that, his career took off. I mean, Danny Thomas was at one point maybe the biggest star in the country. I mean, certainly in the 50s, the early television, he was one of the most successful, most popular stars that we had. Before Lucille Ball, Danny Thomas was like number one on television. So his career took off, and he kept his promise in a huge way. Rather than just building a shrine, he founded this hospital that has helped millions. Now, the mission of St. Jude is to advance cures and means of prevention for pediatric catastrophic diseases through research and treatment. The core principle of St. Jude is that no family will pay a penny, not for their treatment, not for their travel to or from the hospital, not for housing while their child is under treatment, while their child is undergoing care, and not for any of their food during that time either. They make all of their money from contributions, and they take care of families completely so they don't have to worry while their child is going through this scary time. It also shares all of its research and findings freely with hospitals and doctors worldwide. They don't try and build any sort of closed system. They just share all of their information. It's basically like open source medicine for all to use and share and help improve the care globally. And they focus on diseases that most other hospitals don't have the resources or funding to tackle, especially like rare or difficult cancers in children. For instance, when St. Jude opened in 1962, the survival rate for childhood cancer like acute lymphoblastic leukemia was around 4%. Today, thanks in large part to the research at St. Jude's, that number is over 90%.
Wow.
So they have helped children all over the world. And it's also a research institution where scientists and doctors can collaborate under one roof, allowing them to translate discoveries from the bench to the bedside quickly. So why is St. Jude's Hospital in Memphis? Danny Thomas, when he decided to fulfill his vow to St. Jude and build a hospital, he didn't just want to create any hospital. He wanted to create one that would help children with the most hopeless diagnoses, regardless of their race, religion, or the family's ability to pay. And that played a big role in choosing Memphis. In the 50s and 60s, the American South had extremely limited medical resources, especially for Black children, especially with those that had complex or rare illnesses like cancer. Segregation and systemic inequality meant that children in the region often had no access to adequate care. So Danny Thomas and the early board of directors saw Memphis, a central city in the South, as a place where they could make the biggest difference. When they founded St. Jude in Memphis in 1962, it was a radical act. This was at the height of the civil rights era. Racial segregation in hospitals was still common in the South and in Memphis. But St. Jude, from the very first day, opened its doors as a fully integrated hospital. It was an enormous move that sent a powerful message. It was one of the first institutions in the South to treat Black and white patients side by side, and they even hired Black doctors and staff. Memphis was centrally located to easily reach many southern and midwestern states, and that also made it a strategic location to attract children from underserved areas who desperately needed the care. And it's not all serious business. Another great part of St. Jude is they try to provide an environment where kids can have some joy and have space for happiness even during a tough time. There's this one story of a young patient named Mason who was undergoing chemotherapy, and he had to shave his head. So his dad decided to make him feel better and said, well, I'll shave my head too. But that wasn't enough for young Mason. He looked at his dad and said, if you're going to go bald, then I want to draw something on your head. So the next day, they got a marker for Mason, and he drew a giant smiley face on the top of his dad's head. And the nurse saw it and laughed so hard that she brought more markers for Mason. And then him and another patient that was next to him, they started collaborating on what was basically a scalp mural. And by the end of the day, they had drawn all over his dad's head, and he was walking around with what looked like a Picasso meets cartoon explosion on his head. And it was so entertaining, and everybody loved it so much that the hospital ended up adopting this as sort of a tradition. They started printing out bald head coloring pages for all of the other kids to color in, and encouraging kids to draw on their parents' heads. And it turned this moment, which could have been a moment of vulnerability and sadness, into laughter and empowerment. So St. Jude is just a shining example of how humanity can tackle a really tough challenge with both intellect and heart. Science and compassion can work hand in hand. And it's so impactful. It makes such a difference in so many lives. If you're going to choose a charity to contribute to, I'd really encourage people to contribute to St. Jude's. It's my favorite charity, and anyone who has the means to contribute to it, I would just really encourage that. So that's my favorite thing.
Yep.
So good.
Now let's go around, and Evan, I think you're up next.
Okay, I'll get to that in just a second, but thank you for that. I didn't even know that St. Jude's originated in Memphis, and now that helps me make a connection with one of my favorite musicians, Justin Townes Earle, who had an album, actually the last album he ever put out, The Saint of Lost Causes, before he passed away untimely. So anyway, I love that. I love that connection. Okay. Now, the favorite thing that I was going to share with you guys today is a music related one, and it is synthwave. Guys, I love this genre of music. This is a largely electronic music subgenre that's based predominantly on the sounds associated with the 1980s. When you listen to a synthwave album, it's like you're listening to the soundtrack to a great 80s movie from a parallel universe. It's kind of one of the offshoots of the musical family tree that includes Vangelis and Tangerine Dream. One music journalist famously referred to it as having ornately repetitive synth patterns, hypnotic chimes, and percussive chugling drum machines, which I just absolutely love. But anyway, I discovered synthwave when I first got into Stranger Things and that soundtrack. That's kind of the rabbit hole that I went down. And since then, I have come to really appreciate and enjoy synthwave artists such as Wave Shaper, Laserhawk, The Midnight, and FM 84. So guys, if you will indulge me, I would like to give you a micro playlist to check out. All right.
Love it.
Please do.
Okay. All right. Thank you, boys. Here we go. First, On the Run by an artist called Time Cop 1983.
Love that.
Awesome.
Isn't that great? All right. Next, Dream by Callaghan. Third, Our Place in the Stars by a group called New Arcades.
Okay.
Next, Take Off by a band called Betamax. And finally, Celestial Breakdown by a group called Tonebox. So anyway, if you don't know too much about synthwave, check out some of these artists, check out some of these songs, especially if you're in the same age group as we are, because it's really great music. It's kind of nostalgic, but it's also in modern day production value. It's just some of my favorite music anymore.
That's great.
I love that. I love all those artist names.
No kidding.
Are they great?
That's already, I got them. I'm checking them out. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really know much about this genre of music, but just on the band names alone, I'm into it. I'm ready to check it out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, they are good.
All right, John, what's your favorite thing?
I love minor league baseball.
Oh,
I don't love Major League Baseball so much. I mean, going to a game is fine. I don't ever watch baseball on TV, but I love minor league baseball. I love the small time feel of the parks. I love that it's a place you can take your kids, and it's not, you're not going to break the bank in entertaining them for a little while. I just love the vibes of it. But in particular, my favorite thing that I'm going to talk about, we're going to do some more Nashville nostalgia in honor of our new uniforms this week. I loved Greer Stadium, the original home of the Nashville Sounds.
For sure.
Oh, man, I have such memories of that place. It was so cheap, that you could go to a game that I remember going practically every weekend or every other weekend with my dad. I think the tickets, they used to give them away at Kroger, like Kroger's around town. If not, they gave them away. It was probably like $5 tops. And so it was a perfect form of entertainment. Greer Stadium had it all, man. It had bleachers. You didn't sit in no seats. You were sitting on bleachers with your fellow fans. You had an awesome vendor who would go around and cold beer here. You could hear him throughout the entire stadium, if not the entire city of Nashville. And that guy, I wish I knew his name, but he was so beloved that they actually had like a plaque devoted to him in the Greer Stadium by the time it closed down. But yeah, they used to have, San Diego chicken would come to the park sometimes. They'd have like trivia in between innings, like baseball trivia. And I remember like winning a baseball trivia contest when I was a kid. And that might have started my whole obsession with trivia, by the way. But like Greer Stadium was the best. The Sound stopped playing there after the end of 2014 season. Me and my wife were actually, I can't remember if it was the last game or like one of the last games, but we had like T-shirts that said "Last Beer at Greer." So yeah, it was a very nostalgic time. The Sounds moved into their newer park the next year in 2015. It's a fine park. It doesn't have the vibe of Greer Stadium to me, and I miss Greer Stadium. Eventually, they tore it down in 2019. But before it got torn down, there was an amazing article in the Nashville Scene, and it was by a writer named Pablo Iglesias Maurer, and who actually is more known as a MLS writer and like a covering MLS. But he was raised in Nashville, and he worked as a ball boy at Greer Stadium. And so they let him in and took like pictures of the decayed version of it in 2019, right before they blew it up. And he wrote his old memories and everything. It's one of the greatest sports related pieces of journalism I've ever read. If you can look it up, it was written in 2019 from the Nashville Scene. I'm actually going to post a link to it like in our Instagram stories, because oh man, it just brought I cried reading the article. It's one of the greatest tributes to an old timey piece of my childhood that I loved, and that's Greer Stadium.
I have a distinct memory of that beer vendor and the way that he would call out the beer or, shout out to the crowd. It really created its own chant. And he would be like, ice cold Miller. And it caught on so much. It was so catchy that you just have like a whole crowd doing the same thing. You'd have all of these young kids just basically cheering on beer. So
entertained no matter what. Yeah.
It was a terrific moment, and I miss good old Greer Stadium. I'll tell you something else that I really loved there. Do you guys remember the baseball helmets that had the ice cream in them?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I remember they used to have all the Major League Baseball like helmets that you could get. So as a variety. And it would just be random how they gave them out. But me and my brother eventually collected all Major League Baseball helmets of ice cream helmets.
That's awesome.
It might still be in our parents' house for all I know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I miss those things, and I miss Greer Stadium, and just, great memories there. All right, so we have one more favorite thing. Those three covered the 3 goals from the Columbus game. We still have one more. That would be for the Toronto game. My turn again. Guys, I'm going to share probably maybe the nerdiest possible thing that I can as far as
I love it.
As far as favorite things go. This is going to really be incredibly nerdy, and you guys are going to be like, what are you talking about this on a sports podcast for? But my favorite software
okay.
Do tell.
is Microsoft Excel. Now, let me give you a little bit of background here. This is an incredible program. It's not just a spreadsheet app. It's arguably the most powerful everyday software tool that's ever been created. Back in 1979, VisiCalc was created. It was the first spreadsheet program. It was running on the Apple II computers. Remember the Apple II?
I do not.
Yeah, you remember it. And we were in grade school. There was that one computer lab, and we used to go in there, and that's what you play Oregon Trail and Move
okay.
Control
That's
on.
what you had to say.
Yeah, there you
Now
go.
I remember.
Now we remember. All right. So those were Apple II computers. So VisiCalc was on it. It was the first spreadsheet program. And it was a really just like a killer program that people bought computers just to use that. And then in 1983, Lotus 123 was launched for IBM compatible PCs. So it became the new standard of spreadsheet programs and even allowed you to create charts and some basic database functions. So that was the king until 1985 when Excel was born. And Microsoft first launched Excel for the Macintosh computer. Windows didn't yet have a graphical user interface. You just had to run things on MS-DOS. This is so incredibly nerdy for anybody who's listening to this. I don't know how many people are going to follow this. But anyway, Excel came out and it felt revolutionary because it supported the use of a mouse. It had clean visuals, resizable windows, intuitive menus. And unlike Lotus, Excel was built for the future. It had a great graphical interface and flexible architecture. Then in 1987, they developed a Windows version of Excel. So now it's available on all these IBM PCs. And really, I think this was a major piece of what made the IBM compatible PCs dominate over the Apple. I mean, at one time, they were kind of neck and neck in the mid 80s. But then as Windows was developed and Microsoft Office, it really put the IBM side way far ahead. And Excel was a huge part of that. And then through the 1990s, Excel just became the industry standard, continued to develop new features like pivot tables and Visual Basic macros, charting, conditional formatting, all huge game changers. It's an incredibly flexible program that you can use for all kinds of different things, financial modeling, inventory management, scheduling, personal budgeting, even writing novels, if you can believe that. I can't imagine how someone is writing a novel in Excel. I'd love to see that.
No.
It's used in virtually every industry, and you can even use it in your personal life. I've used it with my daughter. She's going off to college, and we used it to try and get her schedule together and organized so that we know what classes that she needs to take. And even before we were looking at colleges, I made her create a spreadsheet of every college we visited and list out all the pros and cons. So it's infinitely customizable. It's really made data visual. And I'll tell you this, it even makes people smarter because it teaches logic. And as people use Excel as a tool to problem solve, and it helps them have eureka moments that rewards curiosity and experimentation, teaches you how to think clearly and methodically and strategically. So it's just a powerful program. Over 1 billion people use Excel. It's on desktops and laptops in the cloud and mobile apps all over the world. And a fun fact, you can even find hidden Easter eggs in the program. Like sometimes they have a hidden game in there. Like in some versions, there's a flight simulator.
Oh my gosh.
So it's an incredible program with a lot of fun and packed into it. I'm a big old nerd, but Excel is powerful and it's one of my favorite things. So there you go.
Love it.
I use it all the time at work.
Oh, wonderful. So you know what I'm talking about.
I do. Now, my employer may not love it when I discover a flight simulator buried with it, but anyway.
No kidding. Absolutely.
You're right.
All right, guys, let's move on from that. It's time for us to get spicy once again. Now, I'm not wanting just those lukewarm takes from you guys tonight. I need those extra super spicy hot takes. We are in Nashville. Nashville's all about hot chicken, so we need the spice. It's time for the Nashville Hot Chicken Takes.
My hot chicken take is that these owners got skills to shake. Entertain the crowd and get on the field. 'Cause why the fuck not?
And Evan, this time around, it's your turn to go first. Let us have it.
Oh man, you really pumped it up there. So, all right, it's kind of a hot chicken take. It also is just a real gripe, but you want it spicy. So let's just say this. Let's say it's an expression of volcanic fury on my part at Major League Soccer. Guys, recently the league announced that next year's All-Star game is going to be played in Charlotte and not Nashville. What? Are you kidding me? Guys, if it can be played in Austin, whose stadium barely seats 20,000 people, why can't they give it to Nashville, the it city, and one of the best teams in the league with a stadium that seats over 30,000?
Exactly.
So I'm pissed about this. And you know what? If Don Garber was standing right here, I might just give him a piece of my mind. So anyway, that's my hot chicken take. Major League Soccer has disrespected us one too many times. The All-Star snub was a slap in the face, but they did correct that. They need to go ahead and correct this mistake, cancel the Charlotte All-Star game, and give that to Nashville.
A great call.
Love it.
Yeah, love this. Part of holding an all-star game in a particular city is not just for the game itself. You're trying to attract all this tourism spending. And so let's stack up these two cities next to each other. I mean, you tell me, which one is going to be more conducive for attracting people, not just for the game, but for all of the things that you could do in the city. So is it going to be Charlotte, North Carolina, or Nashville, Tennessee? Which one do you guys think has more stuff to do for all the people that want to come to town and enjoy the game?
No, it is not Charlotte, North Carolina.
It's not even close.
What is there to do in Charlotte?
Not even close. It doesn't make any sense. Nashville is a destination city. This is where the All-Star game should be. So, John, what's your hot take tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to bring some spice. So, we often criticize off the field or like away from actual playing of soccer stuff that Nashville SC has done over the years.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to say, I've loved all of the off-field stuff that NSC has done this week. I love the new denim uniforms. And here's my hot take my hot take is that someone behind the scenes at Nashville SC is listening to this podcast. Because I cannot think of a more electric gold coated thing than to wear jorts on a soccer field.
Yes.
What do we talk about on this show every single week? We talk about Nashville nostalgia because we all grew up here. We all remember the way Nashville used to be. We're not newcomers like 90% of you guys are. We're originals. We're OGs. And so, of course, they come out with this Nashville nostalgia kit this week. We've seen the jerseys for a few months now. We saw the leaks. We knew that there was going to be denim. I made the joke in probably 10 different chats for the last month or so that we have to wear jorts with those jerseys. And everybody laughed. And by God, they went and did it.
They sure did.
Wore freaking jorts on the field. And we had maybe our best game in the history of the franchise wearing jorts. How awesome is that? So it's not just the jorts that they have ruled with. The last two halftime entertainment spectacles at Geodis Park have been phenomenal. Wednesday night, we were there and we saw speed painter Jessica K. Haas. Jessica K. Haas was amazing. She's a beautiful woman, and she was speed painting. She was painting upside down along to music and kind of dancing along with the music. I mean, that's a great halftime show. And then they flipped the painting over, and it was a painting of tempo that she just created on the spot. It's a beautiful painting. Upside down. I mean, you can't beat that. But then they went and did it at halftime last night. What was there? It was Sax Squatch.
Right.
Sax Squatch is a man, I assume a man, could be a woman, I don't know, in a Sasquatch costume. And I mean a badass Sasquatch costume. Laying down badass sax riffs. If there is anything more tailored to my love, I can't think of it. So I did some research, and Sax Squatch has his own website. Boys, I think Sax Squatch needs to be a guest on this podcast.
Oh, 100%.
He has a new record out. What is it called? Saxy Summer, of course.
Of course.
And he's got T-shirts on there. Dude, sack squatch, that rules. So yeah, that's my hot take is one of you motherfuckers is listening to us and somebody needs to put their hand up and say, I'm the one that
Yeah. I mean, it's right in the vein of Electric Gold style of humor, right? I mean, this is exactly inspired by this podcast. There's no other explanation for it. Okay, guys. Well, those were some great spicy takes. Appreciate that. Now let's move on and let's wrap things up with the week in preview. Fortunately, the boys in gold don't have a midweek game this coming week. Their next match will be a West Coast trip to face the Western Conference leading San Diego. It could be argued that the Western Conference is not as strong as the highly competitive Eastern Conference this season, but San Diego has emerged as a strong contender on that side of the table. They enter the match versus Nashville with a record of 13 wins, 7 losses, and 4 draws, and a goal differential of plus 15. For San Diego, Anders Dreyer is the straw that stirs the drink, and he's the drink, too, having scored 11 goals on the season and assisted on 15 more. The midfielder is a serious contender for league MVP this season, and he's flanked by a talented team, including American homegrown forward Milan Iloski, who has scored 10 goals this season, mostly off the bench. San Diego leads the MLS in assists this season and is second in goals scored, so they are an offensive powerhouse. Nashville will have to play their best despite their history of struggling in West Coast games. Both teams are vying to finish atop their respective conferences and have lots of competition around them in the standings, so it's another crucial matchup for NSC in what has been a challenging schedule throughout this month. So there you have it, guys. That's what we have coming up this week. And of course, I'd love to find out exactly what's going to happen. And in order to do that, we're going to have to dig into the closet and pull out our crystal balls, y'all. All right, John, you're up first. Take out your crystal ball and tell me what's going to happen with San Diego this week.
Guys, check out my ball. It says amazing things. Here it is. So San Diego, they're in first place in the West. Whoop-dee-doo. I'm here to tell you that all 5 of the Eastern Conference contenders, including us, would be first place if we were in the Western Conference. All 5 of us.
Yeah.
San Diego is a new team. I guess you'd call them an expansion team this year. I already hated them before they played a game because there was already a team in San Diego called San Diego Loyal, a USL team. They had a pretty good following for a USL team. And then some dipshit businessman. So like I want to create my own team. And he came up with the most boring San Diego FC. And they wore like boring white or blue uniforms. I can't even tell you. It's so boring. The whole team shouldn't exist. So I'm going to say that we're going to beat them 3-1.
Oh,
we're going to beat San Diego FC 3-1.
Nice.
You mentioned Milan Iloski.
Yeah.
He's already gone. But he was on loan from a Danish team. And he left this week, and they only scored 1 goal in 2 games playing at home this week after he left. So I think we're going to continue bringing the pain. That's going to 3 home games in a row without a win for San Diego FC. 3 more points for the boys in goal.
Awesome. Now, of course, we have struggled in the past on those games on the West Coast, but with the way that we're playing.
This is not typical Nashville, baby.
Exactly. The way we're playing. This is not your daddy's Nashville. This is a brand new Nashville. Evan, what does your crystal ball say over there?
Well, John's given us some new information, or what we like to call around here John text. So I've got to recalibrate my crystal ball very quickly. And now I'm looking deeply into it. And fellas, I see that we are going to head way over to Pacific time and come away with all 3 points on the road, because this isn't your daddy's Nashville. This is Nashville 2.1. I'm trying to make this a thing, guys, with a 3-0 victory on a brace from Super Sam Surridge, taking him to 20 goals on the season, and then 1 more for good measure from your MVP and my MVP, Hani Mukhtar.
Love it.
Awesome. Now, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but haven't we already exceeded our club record for wins in a season? Is that correct?
Yes. We've broken our MLS record already. 14 wins.
Yeah. So this team is a completely different team. We've got 10 more games to even add to that record. So we are on a roll, and this team is just looking fantastic. I think we got a great shot at beating San Diego. It's an incredible turnaround from last year where we were sitting at, I think, 9 wins total for the year and only 5 at home, only 4 on the road. Just looked terrible compared to the incredible turnaround that we've seen this year, where we already have 14 wins, as you mentioned.
We're good.
And we're looking great both at home, on the road. At home, we've only lost once, which is unbelievable. And I have 9 home wins. We've got 5 away wins. Again, we've still got 10 games to go. So we're going to pile onto those total. It's just an amazing change from where we were.
And guys, do we want to talk about what was a year ago?
Yeah.
BJ Callaghan was about to take over a year ago. We had lost, I think, 8 or 9 in a row. We had already gone through 2 coaches. We were down in the dumps. I think every single, NSC assessor, including us, was just bored watching the games. We couldn't really see a way forward.
Yeah, we were doing episodes totally based on Wimbledon or anything else we could distract ourselves with.
Yeah. We didn't know what to do. I think we took a month off because we were like, do we want to keep covering this stupid team? But little did we know we were right around the corner from the greatest renaissance since the 1500s, and that is the BJ Callaghan era.
Yes.
So let's celebrate the birthday of the BJ Callaghan era.
It's a long way traveled in just 1 year.
It is. It's insane. Especially, we didn't buy that many new players. I mean, we definitely got some key ones in Najar and Tagseth and several others, but come on. That should not have happened with a mere mortal coach.
No, he is indeed an alien, that's for sure, but a benevolent one. So he has guided us in the right direction, and it's just been amazing to see. I'm so happy that I've been able to witness this in person. All right, guys. Well, it's been a fun one, but we've got to wrap things up because I am nearing the end of my beer. It looks like you guys probably are too. But before we go, John, we need feedback from people. So how can they reach out and provide that feedback to us?
Yeah, we can get feedback. We are Electric Gold NSC on Instagram, Facebook, and X, formerly Twitter. Reach out to us. Give us those hot chicken takes. Give us those all hell yes. If you must give us some all hell no's, give us whatever. We love the feedback. And special plug, I want to say, if you're not following us on Instagram, you definitely should, because the Instagram stories feature is a way that we kind of share just additional stuff that comes along that pops up. One thing that we share is we talk about the beers in the podcast. Well, we share the pictures of the beers that we're drinking each week, and that's our recommendations. I usually share them like on the weekend. I'm going into a weekend, you're going to party, here's the beers you ought to drink. But there's all kinds of stuff that we share on there. So yeah, follow us on all of those things and message us, and you could be on the next episode of Electric Gold.
You absolutely can. Thank you, John and Evan. Thank you as well. And thank you, everyone who's listening. We really appreciate the support. In the meantime, as we look ahead towards the San Diego game, please keep cheering on the team. Keep tuning in. Keep rooting them on. And please just keep on saying it. Come on, you boys in gold.
Come on, you boys in gold.
Come on, you boys in gold.
Dreams on Friday nights, electric vibes and stories told. Come on, you boys in gold. Waves of laughter in the air, podcast pals without a care. Sharing glorious thoughts out loud. Come on, you boys in gold. Waves of laughter in the air, podcast pals without a care. Sharing glorious thoughts out loud. Come on, you boys in gold. Electric gold, love so gold.
Okay, listen up, San Diego. I had a lot of technical difficulties completing this podcast today, so I am in no mood for your shit. San Diego, some people call you America's finest city, but you're nothing but a sun-bleached monument to mediocrity, and we're going to drag you across the sand until there's nothing left but sunscreen residue and yoga mat confetti. It's what you get when you Google a city for people who peaked in community college. In San Diego, you're not a city. You're a very expensive outdoor waiting room. Some want to call it laid back. It's really just ambition deficient. Your main export are people who swear that they're happy, but they can't name one actual interest outside of vibes. The official flower of San Diego is a crumpled parking ticket on your Subaru windshield. It's all beaches and board shorts until you realize you're surrounded by 38-year-olds with frosted tips and delusions of surf sponsorships. It's like a Forever 21 mannequin came to life and opened a juice bar. In San Diego, the water is cold, the sand is crowded, and the most exciting thing you'll see is a drunk guy fighting a seagull over a hot Cheeto. Every dude in San Diego looks like he's either about to DJ or about to get ghosted by his ex-wife again because she's cheating on him with a DJ. You'll meet a guy named Sky who lives in a van and says he's exploring consciousness. Bro, you're just unemployed. San Diego culture is just LA culture that went to bed early and forgot to read a book. And your art scene, you mean the murals of the waves and that one guy who paints sea turtles on driftwood? No thanks. You can't walk 2 blocks without tripping over someone's healing crystal business, and the hottest new restaurant in town serves tacos. Again, every San Diego event feels like a Facebook invite that you meant to decline, but then you forgot. Well, now you've got this new MLS team. That's really cute. How long until they start serving acai bowls in the supporters section? Your new club's biggest rival is going to be sleep. The only thing your team is good at is perfecting the 0-0 draw in front of shirtless dudes vaping in the third row. And while the team was going to bring some chill energy to the pitch, the same way that your city brings chill energy to literally everything else, slowly and with no measurable result. By the time your fans finish parking their electric scooters, Nashville SC will already be up 3-0. San Diego, eat some of this.
Yo, San Diego, you think you're tight with palm trees, tacos, and beige delight. You brag about chill like that's a win. We build legends while you tan your skin. You sip green juice, we write songs. You got your high taxes, we got sing-alongs. While you surf waves, we ride riffs. We're Music City, baby, y'all just drifts. You want it, we got it. You want it, yeah, well, we got it. We play with soul, we bring that groove. San Diego, who? You're gonna lose. New club on the block, that's real cute, but your crest looks like a Whole Foods dispute. Trying to flex with a beachside bar, we'll shut you down with Haini Mukhtar. You bring flip-flops to a cleat fight. Nashville boys grinds every night. You got fake hype and ocean spray. We got Najar and Surridge all day. You want it, we got it. You want it, yeah, well, we got it. We play with soul, we bring that groove. San Diego, who? You're gonna lose. We pack Geo discs full of sound. Your team ain't even broken ground. Y'all just vibes, no grit, no bite. We're Music City, we do it right. No baseline, no fan base, I shit you not. Your best player can't make a shot. In year one, y'all still getting dressed. Nashville showing who is the very best. So, welcome to the league, enjoy the flight. Your sunny brand's about to face the night. Your San Diego soft, we Nashville strong. We build a bonfire and sing the Johnny Cash song. Your city's chill, ours is loud. We bring chants, guitars, and a crazy crowd. So when you roll through with your sunscreen crew, get ready to face the gold and blue. You want it, we got it. You want it, yeah, well, we got it. We play with soul, we bring that groove. San Diego, who? You're gonna lose. San Diego, who? You're gonna lose. New club on the block, that's real cute, but your crest looks like a Whole Foods dispute. Trying to flex with a beachside bar, we'll shut you down with Haini Mukhtar. You bring flip-flops to a cleat fight. Nashville boys grinds every night. You got fake hype and ocean spray. We got Najar and Surridge all day. We play with soul, we bring that groove. San Diego, who? You're gonna lose. We pack G-O-Dis full of sound. Your team ain't even broken ground. Y'all just vibes, no grit, no bite. We're Music City, we do it right. We do it right. You're gonna lose. Yeah, we're gonna lose. We do it right. You're gonna lose. We pack G-O-Dis full of sound. Your team ain't even broken ground. Y'all just vibes, no grit, no bite. We're Music City, we do it right. No baseline, no fan base, I shit you not. Your best player can't make a shot. In year one, y'all still getting dressed. Nashville showing who is the very best. So welcome to the league, enjoy the flight. Your sunny brand's about to face the night. Your San Diego soft, we Nashville strong. We build a bonfire and sing the Johnny Cash song. Your city's chill, ours is loud. We bring chants, guitars, and a crazy crowd. So when you roll through with your sunscreen crew, get ready to face the gold and blue. You're gonna lose, you're gonna lose. gonna lose. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose.